They know my story.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you guys how I did this triangle parts for my client. She wanted a medium triangle parts, but I think we did medium large or large. But yes, so I learned one trick because I know I was doing the triangle part at some point 2 years ago, a year ago, and I was just having a hard time making my parts. So I just asked people to just tell me if they have any suggestions. So I was told that I should try to make the parts like odd numbers basically. So now I do have 3 at the back. So if it was like 4 or if it was 5 for triangle, that would have been a small. So that's why it's kind of tricky to do like a medium, or it's just kind of tricky when it comes to the sizes, especially when it comes to triangle parts. So that now I understand why stylists do charge more when you want a certain parts, because a small might end up being an extra small or just takes longer time. Because for a box shape for a small at the back, usually people normally have like 4 parts basically. But if you're doing triangle parts, if you're doing triangle parts, you might end up having to do 5 because of the odd number rules and stuff like that. So now I understand why. But now I think we're going to be doing since I already have 3 at the back, I'm going to be doing it, I think 5 or 7, but I'm not sure because my client did not want it to be too big or too not large, but like in between the large and the medium. So yes, so when you see me parting my client's hair, it's going to look like the parts are crooked, like the line are crooked, but I usually go back and look at the camera and fix it off camera, just because, you know, I just don't want to have to keep going back to the camera back and forth. But as soon as I am done prepping my triangle parts and everything, you would see what I'm talking about. And I have been using a different hair extension lately. I think this one is called African Best, I'm not sure, or African Expression, one of those. But maybe my future videos I will be having the name and the link, because I just started using the hair and I really do like it. I usually use the Ruwa braiding hair, RUWA braiding hair, but Ruwa braiding hair is really nice, and for the longer length it usually comes in like 2 bundles, but it's not as full or it's not as thick. It's really nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not as full, it's not as thick, you know. Like for one head you might end up having to use like about 5 or like about 5 packs, you know. Why for other braiding hair you might end up using about 3 or 4, so just less hair just like more hair and everything. But yeah, I still use Ruwa braiding hair, but now I am beginning to like this new braiding hair because it's just about the same texture, same everything, and nice and long and more hair basically. So I applied my edge control I saw me did initially, just to clean my parts, and now I am just making my triangle shape. Sometimes I'll have to go back and, you know, like make the shape all over again because I do want it to look really nice. Again, I am not the queen of like lines and stuff like that, but I do try my best, and my clients end up leaving here happy, you know, and they end up just being fine and happy with the way it turns out when it comes to my parts. Like they're always clean regardless. But yeah, so now I try to do my best, make sure they're clean and nice, and before I start braiding. But prepping this way, it's very nice, because if you have to go back and make changes, you could, but if you just parts one and then start braiding and you have to go back and make changes, it's really hard, because you've already braided your client's hair, and if you want to unbraid it, it might just end up taking way more time. So yeah, so just prep the hair before you start braiding. In that case, it's very easy. So right now, as you can see, I think I will end up doing just I'll end up doing just 5 for this section, since we already have the first triangle and now we're making the second triangle, and then I can see that we're gonna have like 3 more to make. I do have the link to the rat tail comb in my description box. I use this rat tail comb for all my hairstyle, as well as the edge control and also the magnetic wristband that just helps, so you don't really have to keep going back and forth to your edge control container. I had to dip this hairstyle in hot water, of course, just to make sure the ends are really nice and silky. I know that triangle was not looking good, but as you can see, it came out really nice. I had to go back and to make sure it's clean, as I mentioned earlier. So now I'm going to start braiding. As you can see, I'm just combing through because the edge control is really nice and strong. So I just have to comb through so that when I start braiding my client's hair, it's not like too hard to like, you know, braid through basically. So first I'm going to braid twice because my client's hair is really thick and nice, and I want the roots to be flat and also thick as well, just flat and thick, if that makes sense. I'm going to braid twice, and then I am going to start fitting my client's hair. So what helps with this hairstyle is that as you braid, you can also apply the edge control. But while prepping my clients, I usually apply the edge control on my client's hair already before I start braiding. As you can see, I am doing the butt length to my clients. I fed the first hair like just equal on both sides, but then as we go, I would make sure one is longer than the other one. As you can see in this video, when I take out their hair, I try to adjust it so that we have one length being longer than the other one. That would give me a butt length, even though you end up using like a 28 inches hair or a 30 inches hair. Doing this technique does help, so you don't really have to go to the store and look for like a 36 inches hair already, because sometimes it's really hard to find those hair that has so much inches. So I usually use the 30 inches or 28 inches hair for butt length because I do try my best to finesse it. And I do that for all of my clients, and you just cannot really tell because I braid them really nice and everything gets really tucked in. So yes, I'm just going to keep fitting it in, and then if I do need more hair, I'm going to apply the hair as we go. But to make sure your braids are coming out nice, you want to apply your edge control, especially when you're doing like really thick or large or extra large hair for your client, because of that is a lot of hair for your hands and stuff like that. But when you apply your edge control, it makes everything nice, and it makes it easier for you to tuck in your client's natural hair and the hair that you kept extending, especially when you saw that one part of the hair was longer than the other one when I kept attaching it. To make it a little bit longer, if you feel like the length is not really doing it for you, when you get to the middle of your client's hair, or whenever you feel is right, you can go ahead and attach the last piece of hair. But if you feel like you have enough, then you're good to go. That is the reason why I always have one hair left out for me to attach. If I feel like I don't have the length that I want, I would go back and attach some more braiding hair for my client, just to make sure the lengths are pretty much extended as my client wanted it. I did not count how many parts I had for my clients, but I feel like if you watch this video, you could guess how many parts I had for this video. But I promise you guys, I will start counting my braids. It's just really hard to count braids because you just braid and you just go. It's easier for you to count locks because it's locks, and usually it's like I usually do like the regular size, so it's easier for me to just count. But for braids, it's really hard for me to just count because I just forget. But yeah, that'll be all for this video. Let me know if you have any questions, guys, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Thank you.
It's FAUXLOCS.
Original, puffing on me high grade, sipping on me liquor. Girls them a come, them a want, them a take her. Bad man, me a come in, me a wanna take her. Girls them a come, them a want it on the nigga. I steady sipping on my liquor. Then I tell her me she give her, never trust another nigga. I say she give me on the nigga. Say she feeling on the nigga, say she run another nigga. Who's that? Baby, tell me who's that? Look back, baby, make you look back. Move that, where you move that. Touch that, baby, me just wanna touch that. Enter me radar. Now you they mash up the place. Enter me radar. Girl, you are what see me brain. The only special one for me. Now you be the only one I see. Anywhere I go, I wanna be. Girl, you feel like my fantasy. Let's have a good time. Baby, I'ma make you sweat. Let's have a good time. Baby, I'ma make you sweat. Pour me ya, say she give me pour me ya. In a yard, say she give me in a yard. Man a wine, say she give me dirty wine. Man a grind, say she give me dirty wine. Say, girls them a whining, them me grinding, I don't think so. Any man them me looking at they think so. Girl, your body say your money while I sing so. Man a bad man a boss in a the thing so. Girl, pon me yard, see me pon me yard. Me na pillow wine, say she give me filler wine. Say let me the villa wine, say she give me film wine. Aye. Man a wine, say she give me for me yard. Say enter the radar. Now you they mash up the place. Enter the radar. Girl, you are what see me brain. The only special one for me. Now you be the only one I see. Anywhere I go, I wanna be. Girl, you feel up my fantasy. Let's have a good time. Baby, I'ma make you sweat. Let's have a good time. Baby, I'ma make you sweat.
It's FAUXLOCS.
Right, we finna have a good time, you know. Them bomb up like them are watching. They are free of what I bad man, what you say?
Standard.
Original. Original bad man.
Just say no. Just say yeah.
Original bad man. Body nice. See I got them here, them are moving right. See the girls, them a got me hypnotized. Them a make a bad man feel alright. Ooh, yeah. Man I tell her me she go low. Say you gonna get me when I'm on low. Man I tell her me she go low. Bad man I put you in a photo. Aye, count down, she a put me on a rundown. Go down, she a give me on a low now. Go down anywhere you wanna go now. Bad man, me I put you on a first class.
No. Just say yeah.
So baby, what you gonna do? Calling all your friends when they come through. So you really your number one I control. So you really meant for the girls when they come through. Bad man, say she want, say she really want, say she try to be the one. Calm down, take it slow. Say the girl, them a coming at me yard, them a give me low. If you tripping, let me know what you really want. Is it riding with me or you really dirt? Them a girls, them a tell me that you really not. Make up your mind, let me know if you really got.
No. Just say yeah.
Bad man, turn up the vibe. Bad man, turn up the vibe. Original bad man, turn up the vibe. Bad man, turn up the vibe. Bad man, turn up the vibe. Bad man, turn up the
It's
vibe.
FAUXLOCS.
Bad man, turn up the vibe. Bad man, turn up the vibe.